This is an urgent message from the Ministry of Silly Talk. Please stay tuned for further instructions.
Folks, head on over to shirtcaviar.com. We got a wide selection of shirts for every occasion. We got a cheat sheet, get the yayo. We got a F them kids, a perfect and amazing holiday stocking stuffer. We got disrespect the rich. We got anything is possible. We got rose-headed hoe with caviar on the side. And we have one of the most popular summer shirts, the Beach Please. All of these and more at shirtcaviar.com. And make sure you use code OGA for 10% off your order.
There is an epidemic of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified assassins who stay inside their homes behind locked doors. Murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their killers.
Welcome. One Graham. Welcome to the
One Graham Army podcast.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's stupid podcast. And remember, his head is full of doo-doo, so don't listen to anything he says.
Yeah, but we're recording now because we just go, B. Let me walk us into this. Generals, welcome to the One Graham Army podcast. I am Graham. Remember how I said I wasn't going to do this anymore? I lied. And it's not the first time, and it won't be the last. Because joining me today is one of my old drinking buddies. He's drinking a lot less, but he's still my buddy.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Josh.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I considered, though, that you may have enjoyed using our generals' names, but I couldn't remember, because I still go by Booze McKenzie, but I couldn't remember your general name.
I think it was General Chotch something.
Something.
Yeah.
It was probably something unfortunate that we should leave behind.
Yeah, I mean, I have no shame in my past life.
Yeah.
It was I enjoyed myself, whatever.
But welcome, and again, I had intended on killing this podcast off. I'll insert the video here. And we're back. But I bumped into Josh recently, and I think I found someone who is willing to go back down this road with me. I think.
Yeah, for years, I've been wanting to hang out with you again, and it just, life happens.
It
and
does.
You get old and weird, and it just, whatever. And I saw him at the Publix, and I was like, well, I'm going to go give this guy a hug, and then...
Well, here we are.
3 days later, we're recording a podcast. So.
Absolutely. But draw that in a little bit closer, because it's not a problem with anything you're doing. I'm just having an issue with the sound, like I always do. Every single podcast we do will be precipitated by audio video issues.
Great.
That they'll rectify themselves as we go. But there's a lot to catch you up on here, man.
And
And this I feel like this is going to be the easiest way to smooth you in to what we do here at the Ministry of Silly Talk.
Okay.
Which is the name of this building. So there's lore. Like, this is the One Graham Army podcast, but it is recorded here in the Ministry of Silly Talk.
Yes.
Which is a Monty Python bite. But I felt like the best way for us to begin would be for you to be familiarized with this video. So this is a guy reviewing an art piece by famous artist Jean-Michel Basquiat. And the piece, its message, all of that is secondary, really, to
the commentary.
His accent.
Oh, okay.
Irony of Negro policeman. Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Getting there.
Basquiat's irony of Negro policeman is a sharp critique on members of his own race. By depicting a Negro policeman, he is making a conscious effort to show how African Americans are controlled by the white majority in America. Basquiat found
This
it
is what we do
totally ironic that any African American will be a
Why does this
policeman,
exist, though?
working to enforce rules
I don't
that were
control the
meant
internet
to
yet.
enslave themselves. The figure in the paintings is a totalitarian black mass, with a mask-like face and hat resembling a cage. On the right of the painting are the word irony of Negro policeman, and to the bottom right of the painting is the word pound, clearly stating Basquiat's opinion on the ridiculous position of Negro policemen.
And then the music makes it great, too.
Well, and you're no stranger to the way we do things around here.
Oh, no. So you introduced me to ridiculous internet videos.
That's what I do,
Yeah.
right?
Negro policemen
And you
are
also
controlled by the white majority in America.
Majority. Hold on. Well, here.
Policemen.
Coming straight from the underground.
Negro
Got it back 'cause I'm brown.
I told you had nothing to worry about.
That's great.
Have you ever
dude.
heard that there's that woman, too, in Florida who was like, complaining about the African American Studies curriculum because they learned about NWA or whatever, and she's given this speech where she's like, really excited to use the N word and
because she's reading the lyrics?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah, but
I don't know if they
Basquiat.
or what. Search
Negro
down and grab his nuts. And on the other hand, without a gun, they can't get none, but don't let it be a
African American
because they'll slam you down to the street top, black
policeman.
going out for the white cop. Ice Cube will swarm on any motherfucker in a blue uniform. Just because I'm from the CPT, punk
Policeman.
are afraid of me. A young
Negro
on a warpath. And when I'm finished, it's going to be a bloodbath of
policeman.
dying in L.A. Yo, Dre, I'm something to say. Fuck the police. Fuck. Fuck the
Policeman.
Fuck. You get the gist. This is in your curriculum.
This is in your
Fuck.
curriculum.
You get the gist.
That's great. The fact that I've never known
keep
anyone
it talking to my.
I've never known anyone to do that shit before, and just the fact that you can instantly bring that, you're like, you show me the source material, and then you show me the 1 gram army version. Goodness.
Policeman.
Straight from the underground.
Negro.
Got it back 'cause I'm brown.
It helps to have someone who thinks it's as stupid as I do.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
man, because that is just inherently funny to me. I mean,
Because the media is
Are controlled by the white majority in America.
oh Christ.
I didn't really have a lot planned for this. I just thought that would be a good place to start.
Yeah, I think it was a
let's see,
good, good starting off spot.
You seen this lady? This lady has an interesting issue going on.
Oh, I have not seen this.
Oh, here.
I'm sorry about this.
This is a security footage for audio only listeners. I don't know what you're
You
doing.
trash can for what, man? No, ma'am. You got to get out. No.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
Ma'am, get out of this store. You're not using the bathroom in our trash can. Get out.
What the fuck?
Outside. Get out.
What'd you say? What am I supposed to do?
No, get out of our store. Get out of here. Can I get a bag? Put it here. You just had one right there. Get your bag and get out of our store, ma'am.
What in the world? Oh no, she's holding
your
it.
shit and get out of our store. I can't make it out of the store. You want me to help you make it out of the store? I'm saying I don't. Ma'am, get out of the store. Get out of the store! I'm not gonna keep asking you and saying. I don't want to make a mess in your store. store. You gotta leave up out of here.
You could have gotten out
Yeah.
9 times.
Yeah, you could have been to the
Get out of my
bathroom
store.
anywhere
Now,
else
I'm
at
put
this
my goddamn
point.
hands on you now. I'm trying to be motherfucking nice. Get the fuck out the store.
I'm asking if there's a place I can.
Open it up.
It's coming
Open
out
it
now.
up.
Let me get my stuff, Sam.
You gonna get it. You get
Okay.
the hell out of here. You get your ass the fuck out of here and I give you.
Bold move by the store owner too, because she's like, "It's coming out now," and she was like, "Oh no,
No,
I'm
you're
willing to
getting
risk
Your
it
ass
to
out
not
here. Shut
have."
the fuck up.
Shit the fuck up.
Yeah, I'd have you not shit on the floor of my store. These are the kind of fun things I have prepared. You know, this is the sort of stuff.
But I also wonder, if the lady was that, why couldn't you just let her shit in your toilet?
right. And that's the other thing that seems.
Like I get not having a publicly open bathroom for everyone who walks through the door.
Yeah.
I completely understand that. But if some lady's trying to shit in your trash can,
yeah.
let her hit the 15 feet to the toilet and just kick her out or something. I don't know.
I mean, obviously that would be the response. I think probably the lady trying to take a dump in the trash can was really into dumping in that trash can. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So it wasn't a
Like-
dump situation. It was a fetishy, weirdo situation.
Could have been, or she didn't even ask. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know what precipitated that.
Yeah,
but
she got to the point where she had to shit but hadn't asked for a bathroom prior.
yeah, she was holding her own butthole with her hand to keep the doo-doo in.
Jesus.
It's been years since I've been in a situation like that.
But see, with my diabetes medication, I can't trust a fart, if you know what that means.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
familiar.
can't. And I mean, I can't trust a fart to the point of, I take shits 19 times a day.
Yeah.
And 18 of them, or 15 maybe farts. But just in case they're not.
Just enough of them of them are not that you need to be prepared.
Yeah. I can't be like, I can't be at work and just, because then I may have to go to Walmart and rearrange my day.
Yeah. And I know you're married now, so I don't know if you'll really be able to relate to this, but this is a guy whose content I genuinely enjoy. And this is sort of, I think, so embarking on this, doing podcasting again, I want people to understand that, like, we're very accepting people. We're
course.
interested in everyone's participation, and so is Frankie Mac.
Hey everyone, it's Frank Adele. I wish I was in really, 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 really warm, deep water at the beach with women, including white women, black women, and all the other women, including average white women, average black women, overweight white women, overweight black women, things like this.
Frankie.
And it's doing really great so far. I wish I was rolling in the sand nonstop, rolling in really soft sand nonstop. And things are great so far.
I don't quite
I'm Frank
understand what's
Adele.
happening here.
I mean, as dreams go, that's pretty good. I think if you...
So he just wants any woman in the warm, deep water?
Yeah, look, he's clearly outside and it's cold and it's raining. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that but I think that his wishes are simple.
Hey everyone, it's Frank Adele. I wish I was in really, 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 really warm, deep water at the beach with women, including white women, black women, and all the other
All the
women,
other
including
women.
average white women,
So is he
average
ranking
black
them?
women, overweight white
I think
women,
he's just
overweight
piling them
black
in.
women,
He's
things
just
like
throwing
this.
them out. He's
Yeah.
not ranking.
No.
He's
And
not
it's
saying
doing
I want
really
white
great so
women, and
far.
then
I
I'll take
wish I was
black women,
rolling
and then
in
I'll
the
take
sand
average
nonstop.
whites.
No,
average
I
blacks.
think he just... No, I think
really,
he's
really,
just
really,
throwing
really,
it out
really
there.
warm, deep water at the beach with women,
Frankie
including
Mac,
white women,
1984,
black women,
I have
and
a
all the other
feeling
women, including
Frankie may
average
not have
white
ever
women,
seen a woman
average
naked
black
that he
women,
hasn't paid
overweight
to see naked.
Although he is actually a reasonably successful internet personality for all the wrong reasons.
So maybe recently
could have.
things have changed for him.
Could have. He was... there are...
And maybe I'm projecting here. Maybe the guy's been just swimming in it.
No, obviously
since
not
the late '90s.
initially. But he became an internet guy. He did a whole thing where he ran around like, "Rawr," like I'm a tiger and all this stuff. Like,
So there's other
people may
things.
recognize this guy. I just felt like his dream, I feel like his dream is worth sharing with people.
Well, it's a very feasible dream. I feel like you could. The beach part is the easy part.
It comes down to being like, hey, these things are possible because you leave, cast a wide net.
Of course.
Right? Anybody.
You don't have to have a high
welcome.
batting average. You just got to swing.
This is so much fun because I have, this is going to be a great way to get started because we're only 15 minutes into an hour. So this is a great way to get started, introducing you to the kind of asinine nonsense that's been going on here
for years.
You're not going to be surprised,
of course not,
that this is what I've done with my time since we've seen each other.
I'm going to be excited because I was glad to see that you continued with your
Why wouldn't I?
hobbies and whatnot.
What else am I doing around here?
We don't need to fucking practice, Randy. That goes for cocksuckers and retards.
I love Dwight Yoakam.
Bro.
Right? Is Dwight Yoakam not the coolest?
Dude, his performance in Sling Blade, so obviously Billy Bob Thornton, right? Groundbreaking.
And that's the first thing I remember him from.
It's the only, yeah. Was he in anything before that?
I don't think he starred in anything prior to that. I think he had been an actor, but no one knew who he was, type of thing. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but but Sling Blade is, it's phenomenal. It's one of the most phenomenal movies of all time. But Dwight Yoakam, I don't think gets the credit he deserves for playing the worst person I've ever seen in a movie.
Well, and that was my first. I think Dwight Yoakam had some smaller parts and other stuff, but it was more of a light.
Yeah,
he was like a corny comedy thing where he was a cowboy or something, a rodeo person. Yeah. But I think that was
the internet, but I won't disrupt the conversation.
No, but it was like that.
I'm curious about that though.
That was the first thing that I remember seeing because I knew Dwight Yoakam from country music. My mom was into country music, so I grew up knowing these names, and his music was actually kind of cool, so I didn't mind listening to it.
My pops obviously was into Dwight Yoakam.
Well, his stuff's more bluesy than the most of the Garth Brooks type bullshit.
Of course, no. Dwight Yoakam's a proper musical artist who worked in country music.
To me, he almost, and it's kind of weird to say, almost is like a country Beck in a way.
That's actually not
too much of a stretch, I guess. But like as far
no, I don't think so. The chances he took, the sounds,
and he's kind of like the indie country guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I was about to be like, the Lilith Fair, but I was like, what the fuck does Lilith Fair have to do with any of this?
Well, that's an eclectic choice for a country music artist who's not a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not the Dixie Chicks and you're at the Lilith Fair, that's an eclectic choice. Yeah. If you've got a belt buckle, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But no, Dwight Yoakam's phenomenal, and he's so good in that movie.
Well, to me, great movies, just like this one, writing and everything, it's all got to fall into place, but that casting.
Yeah.
It's the little parts that they put in. The guy in Sling Blade, the guy that works at the drive-in place where he goes and orders food.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah, that guy in the window.
Yeah, but he's got but he's not a kid. The dude's like 35. He's got gray hair. You know what I mean? But it's just it's got that small town. This loser Ricky works at the, ice cream shop.
Well, you're not talking about John Ritter's.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about the no-name guy at the counter
when he goes
at the
up
Tasty
and he
Freeze
says,
or whatever.
You got any biscuits for sale in there?
He goes, no, this is a Tasty Freeze.
I like them French fried potatoes. That's me, by the way, not the soundboard.
In case you didn't know.
It was one of the only impressions I ever used to work on was that guy.
Oh, that one?
I guess I'd be like, the Bible says a man and a man ought not lay together. They say you're funny, queer, not funny, huh?
John Ritter, like you just said, great in that movie.
Everybody in that movie.
Who was the mom or the female person?
It's not
phenomenal.
Susan Sarandon.
No, it was someone younger.
Less known. Fuck. I have to look it up. Sling Blade. Mom. God damn it. Who is that? Christine Renee Ward. I don't remember her in anything else. She seems to have some sort of...
She had a small part in the movie.
Yeah, who is this person? Was that her? Was the mom? Is Melinda the mom's name? I don't think that's right. I think horny posting has been like, who is this background character? Blade cast mom. Let's see here. This may be more correct. have no idea what's going on here. Why isn't the internet just telling me
Yeah,
who are these people?
I don't know who these
and why
ladies
did the
are.
first thing say obituary and then it's this lady? Like, what is going on here?
Catherine
It
M.
was-
Wheatley.
I don't know who this thing. That's not her, right? Has it been
No,
that
no,
long?
no, it's definitely
Has
not
it
her.
been
No, no,
that
no.
long? I don't think so. Damn it. Hold on. You know what? We'll have to go to the tubes real quick.
Yeah, we might recognize the broad if we see it.
Yeah, because it's been so long. I'm sure she had to do other stuff. Oh, that's her
Yeah.
right there. Oh, man.
I recognize
That
her, but I don't know her
scene was
name,
so
though.
crazy.
Why don't you go get one of your
Maybe that
girlfriends
was
and
all
go
she
home?
did.
You know better to talk to me like that when I'm hurting, Linda. Don't make me knock the piss out of you.
All those people are good.
Man.
Even that kid became a good actor. He was
Yeah.
great in this, but still became a pretty good actor.
And the
Linda,
tension in these
go to
scenes,
bed.
too, because it's like a...
Take little snot nose here.
It's,
Dude, if
it's
you
a
have
full
any-
pulled back, and if you have any experience with,
With
like...
white trashery.
Yeah, or even just, like, trauma in your house, like...
Yeah, that's a very
This is
relatable
so
scenario.
If you even think about
Right?
leaving me, Linda, I told you.
Oh, he's closing the distance on her like that.
Yeah.
That might be better than this.
All right, I'm a witness. I heard you threaten her.
Hey, you get the fuck out now!
Lave.
Don't tell me what to do.
That's what I remember from
Lave.
her.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do.
Lay!
Don't tell me what to do.
Lay!
Don't you tell me what to do, Linda. Don't do that, Linda. I'm calling the police. God damn you, Linda.
All right, I'm not having fun watching that, but
No,
yes,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
tremendously powerful. There's no question about it. And if you know that movie is great for everybody.
That goes for cocksuckers and retards.
I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
We
Yeah,
don't
right.
need to fucking practice, Randy.
You know that Colonel Bruce is in that. You know who Colonel Bruce is? He's a musician. Like people that are in the jam bands really like
Are
him.
you talking about the dude with the long hair?
No, it's
who,
the
when he walks the guy out in the wheelchair.
It's the fat guy when they're practicing the songs who sings real weird and has like the
Yeah.
poems and he talks with that voice.
Oh yeah,
That's Colonel Bruce. I can't remember his last name now. I actually was at the concert when he died.
Yeah.
He died on stage at a concert. Yeah, had a heart attack.
What?
People thought he was kidding.
Yeah.
We were intoxicated, so we really
Didn't have
flipped
any
out.
idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, then we realized what, and I was there with my friends who are huge fans of Jesse and them. I was
Yeah,
there with
yeah,
them, the
yeah,
hippie
yeah.
guys. They were huge fans of him and had been to a bunch of his shows. And I was just there for the booze, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were all. I mean, it was a terrible, terrible thing.
That's horrific.
But
especially if you're
yeah, but they say
Bonko,
that's
especially if you're in the Bonkos zone.
Yeah, no,
you're
it was
like,
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were really upset. And I was just like, oh man, this party's over.
Yeah. Oh, this guy died.
Oh,
I
can't find pussy anywhere.
You might not be too far off.
It's like, hey man, we were all having fun. What happened here?
Bruce, fuck it.
Oh.
What did he say?
I don't know, something about being gay.
It's so much fun. I was already new to expose
Dude,
this nonsense,
oh my
and you're
God.
you're gonna absorb. You're gonna.
I'll be thinking about this dumb shit,
assimilated into this so quickly, and we don't have to do an hour. I just figured an
No,
hour.
we'll do it.
was
I'm
a
having
good-
fun, man. We'll just do it as long as we want.
Oh boy. Oh. Okay. We're reminiscing.
Yes.
So remember, obviously everybody remembers Bear Grylls.
Of course.
The survival guy. There
Yeah.
there was a thing then too.
That was an era where you had the Survivor Man, you had the Naked and Afraid, all that kind
All
of
that
crap
stuff.
was going on. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't mean to cut you off either.
No, you're
if you
good.
have more musings, feel free to share.
No,
them,
I
'cause
was.
I'm about to take you
Yeah,
down.
let's go down. I want to hear about this Bear Grylls guy.
A rabbit hole.
Okay.
So I had this thought about Bear Grylls when that was jumping off. And as a matter of fact, that was back when we were kicking. That was like early 2000s, like pre-internet, like everything. You would use it.
When we were hanging out, it was 2000, maybe 7 till 10.
Could have been 5 to then. Like it was
Yeah,
in that
yeah, that
ballpark.
era, yeah.
But and there is a thing I miss about that, not to transgress too much, although we're more than welcome to. There is something, too, where you turn on your TV.
And watch what they give you.
Right?
I spend fucking hours a week with my wife. And me and my wife have a very similar sensibility on what to watch.
Of course.
So it's like, it's not It's not just a choice between Desperate Housewives or the Cubs game. You know, like we got we'll watch good stuff. We don't care.
Yeah.
But it's like we get to the point where we've watched Game of Thrones 4 goddamn times.
Yeah.
Everything we watch now has become, and I'm digressing completely, but I get on a soapbox, conceptually, it seems like a great movie or a great show, but they just don't deliver. It's like cliff notes of it are good. Have somebody come punch it up.
Yeah.
You know, you guys have the good idea, but then you just puss out on it. You don't let anything develop. You don't
think about how much of this shit is being made now, too.
That's the problem. It's too saturated. I mean? Unfortunately, any dipshit with $2,000 can go to Best Buy and make something that looks similar to Saturday Night Live. Yeah. You know what I mean? They can do the shit in their basement. And if they're actually funny, that's one thing.
Well, I would even say of the major studios, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, like the people who are really, and HBO obviously, who are like facilitating, producing all of this content. Like if you're talking about streaming services, like only so much of it can be good. You know what I mean? And so there's so much of it that appears to be, because it was like Ozarks. Like when that show first started, I was like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. And I got like 8 episodes into it, and I was like, well, isn't that good? You know what I'm saying?
Their problem is, you know how HBO will stop a series when it's done?
I like that.
That's what they all need to fucking do. The problem with American television, and I've heard Hugh Laurie talk about this.
Yeah, that's what the British do.
Well, the British, and I love British shows because of that.
Yeah.
They get a story and they tell it. 8 episodes, 10 episodes, 1 season, whatever, and then they go on to another story. And they may use that same concept or the same person, but it's a completely different story every, it's not season after season. The same shit.
Yeah.
It's not like House where they made 400 episodes of the same damn thing.
Well, and the British are very good about wrapping it up. They go, here, this was what we had. This is the story we had to tell. You'll see these actors in something else later, but this is the end. This is the end of this idea.
Yes,
this
exactly.
idea has.
We're not trying to
course.
Milk it for billions of dollars. Let's just make something good and keep it moving.
Yeah, and so there's so much of that, and so there's all this to choose from, and I do find myself yearning for the days where you just, because there are streaming services that offer that. They ain't paying because I ain't saying, because a lot of people watch this.
Of
and
course.
I don't want anybody taking advantage.
But if there's any monetization, it's coming here.
There's like Pluto TV and stuff that I'll watch, and I notice it's kind of nice to watch because it's just crappy old sci-fi shows, but I can flip through it. And they're giving me programming because that's what TV used to do. TV didn't used to trap you in a cocoon of like endless choices that you must now.
Well, it's almost like they don't give a shit if you're watching something. They just want you to be on that screen.
Yeah.
It's like I spend more time on Netflix circling through the shit, and they show me the same damn thing. I don't know why I keep going to it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I got to give them that $26 just in case, because something cool comes along.
Yeah, something happens.
And then what happens is, you get to a point where they trick you, right? Like if you were getting a cable bill for $250 a month, you'd be like, we got to tighten this up.
Right, of course.
20 here, 9 here, $6.99 there, $4.99 there, adds up to $200 fucking bucks. After
it eventually just becomes what we were paying for cable.
It's the same, but now you just have endless choice, which means you just spend a lot of time looking.
Yep.
Or a lot of time, and I don't mind watching an old show or something, an old movie that I like. I haven't found any. I guess I'm just getting older, but like music and entertainment has just become all not good to me.
No, I agree. Well,
comedy's still going strong in certain pockets. I feel like the podcasts and stuff that gives me most of my entertainment now. But as far as television, no. TV, sports have changed a little bit in my eyes, where I'm not quite as excited about it.
I keep trying to enjoy sports, and they keep trying to do everything they can to keep me from enjoying it. Like, exactly. I gave up on hoop a long time ago, and now it's like, and then they were like, we're going to do all these crazy rule changes to baseball. And in the name of attracting more people to the sport, right? But I'm like, how about you just...
Do you not like the pitch clock? Is that not...
Oh, Jesus Christ. I did that one on purpose. But the last bit of that noise was on purpose. The last part, I was like, hey, let's make more noise. But no, so the pitch clock aside, right, I don't necessarily beef with that. I beef with the idea that they're doing this in an effort to bring more people to baseball, right? Because the problem with baseball is over the years, for instance, if I go to Atlanta and I go to a Cubs-Braves game, I bump into Braves fans from Chicago and I bump into Cubs fans who've never been north of the Mason-Dixon line. And they're all hardcore because they grew up watching the Braves and the Cubs on basic-ass cable. Or if you lived in those cities, if you lived in Georgia, you could watch the Braves on an antenna. If you lived in Chicago, you could watch the Cubs.
The people younger than us, you got to realize the problem with baseball is traveling team all-star bullshit.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I'm not even talking
because
about...
less kids,
yeah,
I'm saying, because less kids get into it at a young age because...
They alienate them from it
they
so
alienate,
fast,
because if you're not a superstar, then you're not worth playing. If your parents can't afford to buy the $900 bat, fuck off. And it's like, so then they're not into baseball.
Accurate.
They're not into baseball because we were into baseball. I knew all the players. I played all the fucking video games. I had the cards. So that made me a baseball fan. So I wanted to spend my money as an adult on jerseys and going to games.
Yeah,
and paying $15 for a beer because it's cool. Because I grew up wanting to be part of that.
I know, and yes, that's a level of it that I hadn't even considered. Is just the fact that like they've made baseball suck for kids. But even just seeing it, right? Just the act of it being available to you. For instance, the Cubs, they were on WGN. That was what they were.
Well, and also the fact that it was on a channel that was just taken up by the baseball game.
Yeah. Now you have, in a lot of cities that have a big market team, they have their own cable channel that you could even buy a cable package for, and if it's from one of their competitors, you can't watch it. If you live in Chicago, you can't see the Cubs unless you have cable, you even have to have this very specific cable package. That's sacrilege.
Well, like the Braves are only on Bally's or whatever.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Is weird.
It's over for all of that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you live in a city and you want to watch baseball, you have to have cable. You have to have this package. It's not just like we were saying, like, shows were just kind of given to you.
Yeah.
Baseball isn't even given to you anymore. They don't do it. It's not available. And that's why.
And that's how you're going to bring eyes. Right. Putting it out there.
So being like, we're going to make bigger bases and put a guy on second in the 10th inning for all these theoretical people who weren't watching baseball anyway are all of a sudden going to start watching baseball.
Because it's weird now? Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to watch it. You're just alienating people who are watching it. And then guess who's going to trumpet, guess who's going to really, support this idea? Sports writers, announcers, people who work in baseball because they're like, I can go to dinner sooner if they get the game over at 11. And they're like, we shaved 20 minutes off of every baseball game. And sorry, I'm about to rant. And as a baseball fan, the last fucking thing I ever wanted was to see more baseball. Yeah, let's get this
God
over
forbid,
with. Hey,
right.
Dude, plug this all. I gotta go to. Hey, let's stop having fun and watching this baseball game and let's get back to work.
Yeah, let's get back to deal with the fucking traffic and the parking and all the bullshit.
What are we doing here? What did I come here to watch a baseball game? No, I came here to get out of here.
And I was like,
yeah.
No,
That's not gonna. I don't think that helps anybody. I don't even know how we got here, but yeah, the baseball thing really. Fucking.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Was it point of personal privilege? Do you remember that one though? Somewhere out west, they were having some kind of.
Meeting. No, it's the communist meeting. I think I have.
The guy said he had auditory hallucinations or some shit. I don't know.
Dang, I thought I had more of that.
So kind of like fuck yourself.
That's not it. That's from a really tragic thing we used to watch.
Maybe your mom can DM me.
Do you know what that's from? No. So, the guy who played Negan on Walking Dead, there was this thing where there was this Australian kid where his mom was filming him like he's getting picked on because he's little or whatever. It was like a huge internet thing.
So
and
he tried to reach out.
It turned out to be nonsense or whatever. But he was like the first idiot to make like a video. He was like, I can't believe that happened. I loved you. But my favorite part of it where he's like,
maybe your mom can DM me.
even like, I don't know your name, but I just saw this.
Maybe your mom can DM me.
Maybe your mom can DM me.
I got a little getting even to do.
You know who that is. Rest in peace.
I got a little getting even to do.
Who is that?
It's OJ.
Oh. Rest in peace. The juice. Oh my God, this guy.
Damn, I had more of that. They had more of that guy. Where
Please
did that guy
do not
go?
use gendered language to address everyone.
I don't. What are they so upset about?
Dang it, I thought I had that. Maybe I lost my point of personal privilege bit. It could be. I've redone this on several opportunities.
That's an old penitentiary trick.
Do you know what that's from?
That's from the MSNBC thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where he was talking about getting that booty.
No, it's not that same guy. This is
Oh.
a different one, and it's horrifically tragic. It's actually an episode I did. I think the title had something to do with El Chapo because it had something to do with tunnels, and then I was looking up videos and found this really tragic video where these two guys who were locked up in Alabama were really like graphically describing how they used to
enjoy each other's company.
I give him the grease. I tell him to put some on his finger, stick it in his ass, so kind of like fuck yourself. That's an old penitentiary trick.
That's an old penitentiary trick. Never been used before. The
No.
penitentiary.
I give him the grease.
The grease. I can't imagine what they're using for grease.
Yeah, it's hard to say. But man, I was sure I had that on there. I don't know what happened.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Fuck you! That's my name!
I have good stuff. I don't even know where we're going. I was yelling about baseball. But yeah, they're solving a problem that doesn't exist, in my opinion. Like, if you want more people to be into baseball, make it more accessible. You can't afford to take your family to a baseball game.
It's expensive for one. I'm telling you, dude.
And
the angle with the kids, you start. It would be cheap to sponsor an actual sponsor, a little league in each little town. It would be cheap for them to do that, and they would have an actual relationship to the Braves or whoever. And
They used to do that.
Yeah, and now they just don't. I mean, we went to the baseball game 2 weeks ago, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
Me and my dad, my brother, and my daughter, and he got decent tickets because he's a veteran or whatever, so he got on some website and got decent tickets for a decent price, and we had fun.
Live baseball is phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
one of those things too, where I think like most sports fans, even if they aren't into baseball, will admit that it's like the NFL. Like the NFL is better on TV, baseball's better in
Yes.
person, and they play 80-something home games a season.
Well, and it is
why would any
relatively
ticket
affordable.
cost? Yeah, well, but you see, even in baseball, it's like why would any ticket in that stadium cost more than $100?
Yeah.
You're
Well,
playing
'cause people
88
pay it.
games a year, right? Of course, but that's like they've made baseball less accessible in the name of selling these like cable contracts, and so they go, we're going to do all these wild ass rule changes to a sport that was pretty much fine before
For, what,
that.
200 years?
Yeah, exactly. Like it was perfectly fine up to that point. Because like when the NFL changes rules, I'm like, well, that's what they do. They're constantly messing with the NFL, and most of it is directly to just
or
put
it's
the game
safety related as well,
Yeah.
or it's to streamline the game for
Yeah. Or now with legalized gambling, it just puts the game into the ref's hands. That hip tackle thing.
That's weird. I played football. I played football in high school.
Yeah.
I was not some superstar or whatever, but I did a lot of tackling, and the hip tackle, it just happens when you're playing ball. That's 80% of the tackles when they're running the ball as a hip tackle.
Yeah, well, and my question is, essentially, if a guy is past you, you can't tackle him now. Because how else you can't horse collar him.
I saw somebody talking about that. What they'll do is they'll enforce this retroactively.
Yeah.
So they won't call it in game, but then there'll be a guy who's sending out fines for people that have done it.
I'm fine with that, but it's going to be very arbitrary.
See, that's bullshit.
But see, here's the thing. It's going to be obviously that's nonsense. But it's going to be very arbitrary because the way I read the rule was it's up to the officials too. So basically, it's going to be arbitrarily applied during the game. So you're going to end up in all these situations where it goes,
yeah, that could affect the game. And what is it going to be?
Did
5
you
yards,
convert
15?
that fourth down?
Yeah.
No, you
Boom,
didn't.
Not anymore.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You know
that
what I
could
mean?
fuck with fantasy stuff.
Did
there's
you,
all
or
kind of
did
shit.
you stop these guys on a fourth down? No, you didn't. It's a 15-yard penalty, and they can just call it whenever. You're putting them in control of the game.
Well, because it's constantly happening.
Yeah. It's the only way you can tackle someone who's past you. I don't know. Tell me, how else would you tackle someone who's ran past you? You can't horse collar them, right?
No.
I mean, I guess you could dive at their feet, but how often? That's not a lot. The way you tackle somebody who is moving past you, like even if you're a linebacker and you're tackling the running back.
If you don't have the angle, you got to grab them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is.
Was every tackle that isn't, and then you can't really tackle chest to chest because there's a concern with helmet to helmet.
If you dive at their knees, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
If you hit them with the helmet or you lead with your shoulder the wrong way, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
If you wrap up the wrong way now, that's a penalty. Like,
how do you play the game?
well, they're taking the violence out of the game, and it's like that's the whole point of the game.
There was the peak of the NFL, in my opinion, was the early 2000s, probably right around when the CTE stuff broke, because it was the pinnacle of athleticism and size versus the way the game was played. And the reality, in my opinion, of how to address the CTE thing was to make football illegal. I don't know, because I don't know how you can have the sport and actually prevent that from happening, because they've shown that CTE is the result a lot of times not from big collisions. It's the fact that these kids have been playing since they were like
little kids,
yeah. And it's not even collection. It's just falling down is bad for your brain. They're finding that in soccer players, like just falling down constantly. These little collisions aren't good for your brain because your brain floats in fluid. So if you actually were interested in preventing these injuries, then you make football illegal and walk away from it, because otherwise everyone has to know what they're signing up for. To me, if you sign your kid up for football, unless he's like a giant monster, you're still setting that kid up for
just
failure.
Because the kid's bigger and hitting them harder and being the one who wins the situation, he's still hitting.
Yeah, when he hits a guy and the momentum stops, his brain smashes into the
just
front
like
of his
the kid
skull.
who got crushed. It's all the same.
Yeah, there shouldn't be. If that's the case, that we're finally admitting that, which people knew for years too. The CTE thing was so silly to me, because when I was little, I remember my mom being like, "No, you can't play football. It's like getting in a car crash all the time." Everybody knew that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, it was like, but the difference was you didn't see football players become punch drunk.
Yeah,
like the Muhammad Ali's and. So like, you know,
well, you didn't
but
see
it's
them
the same
because they were
concept.
Well, you didn't see them because they were in their house in a wheelchair, not on TV or so
behind door, or they've killed themselves when they were 46.
Yeah,
from CTE or whatever.
It's horrific.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, like illegalizing football, which makes sense in that connotation, but
I'm not rooting for it.
I just don't even see how that would even be.
But as a football fan, I'm like, either let them play, or make this illegal. Because we all knew, and I think, and this is a really, like, caveman take I have on this, but, like, in the early 2000s, football had reached this peak where it was the most entertaining thing anyone had ever seen. It was speed, violence, agility, like, the drama was high, and the NFL started courting the family to watch football.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, Dad's in his man cave. Let's go in there." And they started showing the commercials where the wife's like, "I got the jersey of the team you don't
we
like."
Need wings.
Like, you know what I mean? And like they started doing that. Well, so then the family started coming in and watching football, and they were like, "Oh, this is horrific." But we all already knew that.
Yeah.
We all already knew.
Well, and the thing is that the rule changes that they're doing are not. They're not saving anybody.
No.
You're not. These guys are going to have it. If they're going to have it, they're going to have it. If they're playing the game, but it also goes into the kids. There's one thing. The kid that's 9 years old who's getting smashed because his dad wants him to play football.
Yeah.
That's one issue. The dude that's making $20 million a year, I'm not feeling for you. If you end up with CTE, you know it's like sold your soul to the devil to learn how to play guitar.
But how many of those 9-year-olds go into the meat grinder to create one of those guys? Do you get what I mean?
No, I get it.
Like
I
from the
mean-
washout perspective, like how many guys, like kids who are like, I love playing football, and all the way through high school, and they'll just feed some monstrous high school one. They do it in college. They'll be like, oh, Savannah State, time to play Auburn.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I
then
mean?
You just get
Like,
destroyed by
and
these monsters.
Yeah, and it's impossible for me at my age to ignore how disgusting that is, but also because they made me confront it by being like, we need to do something about this. Not what I'm talking about. They haven't done anything about what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything about this undersized travel ball, gigantic monsters, the washout system. Because like you're saying, like a guy who's making $20 million, there is a battlefield of people behind him
Oh, yeah, that
who've
haven't.
been maimed and
Well, there's like you were
concussed.
talking about the other night. There's 8th graders who, tear their knee apart playing football at Fullerton.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
who will never get a look from any college ever, even if they were on steroids. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there's
and they're
little
14 and they've had 3 knee surgeries.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not advocating for making football illegal. I'm just saying if you're looking for a solution to the problem with football, you shouldn't be playing it.
Yeah.
What's the option is what we're about to get with the NFL. We're about to get football that isn't like just fast forward and make it flag football at this point.
Yeah, or just do the 7-on-7 stuff like they do.
Something.
Yeah.
Because it's like I said, it wasn't an issue until
But
it
no
was an
one
issue.
will watch that.
Of course not. But people will stop watching it if every game is decided on penalties by the referees.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that saved them now is that gambling is so rampant and legal. Because now nobody cares. Like everything is a wager.
Yeah.
Like dude, remember when it was like it was illegal to do a casino ad during a football game? Now during
That's
a
all they
football
are.
game on NBC, they're like, and here's how the odds are shifting and the number line
DraftKings going
is
across the bottom.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's solely about gambling now, so they can do whatever they want to the sport because we're gonna run out of people who are watching any of these sports outside of the desire to gamble.
Yeah, or just the video game. Because I think a lot of people watch them just because they want to know who's on the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a lot of the younger cats, you know.
And people just watch highlights too. They just want to see
I'm-
scoring highlights.
I am definitely guilty of that. The older that I've gotten, the less that I care about sports. Like,
yeah,
I want to see what's going on with the Braves. I want to see who wins championships, but I just
Yeah.
want to know. Really, I'll
Yeah.
see the highlights.
Well, and we talked about it the other day when I was saying about like watching soccer. Like there is like when I started watching EPL with the kid, there is something to the presentation of that game that I really appreciate, and that is that they start the game and you watch the game till halftime, and then they do some commercials, then you watch the second half, and the game is over. Every sporting event in America now is
full of commercials.
Just commercials.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm watching baseball, and they're like cutting into baseball to show a commercial
On the
while the
edge.
guy's pitching. Like they make the baseball game smaller. And I go, there's not enough downtime in this game. There's not enough space for commercials at this point.
That you have to show me a Charmin commercial
while the game's going
while
on.
He's pitching his third strike.
Yeah. And the NFL's definitely like that. It's why they won't fix the kickoff situation because they go, well, every time anything happens, we go to a 30-second commercial break. It's why it's why football kind of stinks live because if you go to an NFL
Oh, it takes
game,
forever.
dude, you go to an NFL game, so much of it is sitting there. It's like, what is this, practice?
Are they drinking water? Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, they're just standing around because while you're sitting in the stadium in your $400 nosebleed seat,
Yeah.
they're showing commercials.
Well, that's what's annoying is just the absolute price to go to an NFL game.
Unbelievable. Oh God. That's unbelievable.
Baseball is quasi-affordable. Basketball
You can
can
still
be,
get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can still get in.
And basketball's okay because even a bad seat's a decent seat because the arenas aren't so huge. You know, there's not 40,000 people.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, and the interest is different too. We really went down this rabbit hole, which I'm totally into. But I completely forgot.
What were you ever talking about at the beginning?
I didn't, though, because I remembered just now. All of this stemmed from Bear Grylls.
Oh, you never...
We
still
never
have to tell me Bear
got
Grylls.
into Bear
Go,
Grylls.
go.
I was only mentioning how TV used to work.
And we went 25 minutes on baseball.
That was about 30 minutes ago. But I only mentioned how TV used to I need help. The only reason I mentioned how TV used to work was because we all used to watch those survival shows.
Yes.
You were just
Everyone,
saying that.
yes.
Yeah, we all used to watch that. But even early on in those survival shows, there was a thing I noticed about Bear Grylls, and that is he has a serious piss kink. And I mean a bad one. Like, it is a horrible thing about that guy. Because he's been exposed as, like, you know, a lot of his stuff was staged,
Which
obviously.
I figured in the first place.
Well, of course. And what else do you want from the guy, right?
Yeah, I don't want him to live there. Just show me what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there was the Survival Man guy where half the show would be him being like, I'm running out of batteries for my camera. And I was like, this isn't that fun.
Yeah.
But, like, Bear Grylls was constantly
doing some sort of activity.
Yeah, and
but
like,
it was piss related.
Building crazy stuff. But, boy, he loved piss. And people, I don't think, understand how much he loved piss. Because, bro, every situation he got into, in my opinion, he solved by peeing on something. Here, I have a few choice
show me, please,
examples.
Yeah.
Also, why I was talking about regular ass primetime cable TV. You're talking about a guy with a kink. Imagine how much he got off on the fact that millions and millions and millions of people were watching his show. This was prime time. Everyone
7 o'clock at Friday night.
Everyone in the Western world was
Beating
watching
the heat
this.
isn't just about finding water. It's also about making the most of what you already have.
Oh, no.
Hang on, I was going to have a pee. It always feels wasteful to lose good fluids straight into the sand. But you can recycle pee to help you survive.
Oh, no.
Take your
This is
t-shirt
national television!
and then just pee on it. Try and capture as much of that fluids as you can. Or you wring it through the shirt. And then I'm not wasting
all on it.
any of this to the sand. And even just, a little bit of pee into the mouth is just going to help moisten it, take the edge off the thirst.
Oh, my God.
And you're not drinking it, it's just to wet your mouth.
What?
I didn't make this. I'm not responsible.
He said
for
you're
this.
not drinking it. You're just using it to wet your mouth. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, he's been in the desert, so
For
he probably
19
got to the
minutes,
point where he
yeah.
was like, oh, God, I can't wait to see how stinky this is.
And you're not drinking it, it's just to wet your mouth of it.
Run it down his face.
This is on TV.
And
You
actually
couldn't
even
put this
just
on YouTube now.
Wiping on my face. It's cooling my face down. In fact, you'll see that on the thermal imaging if we put that on. You can see what the difference that fluids on the face make as the pee just evaporates and cools me. You see the darker bit is where it's all much cooler than all of this. It's going to be bright and hot.
He just got piss all over his
If I then
face.
put this t-shirt on, that's
And
gonna
then he
keep
puts
me
his
even
shirt
cooler.
back on.
I need
As the
this
fluid
expensive
evaporates from the
camera to show you
shirt,
how much
it
I
will
love
draw
pee.
heat from my body. Not going to win me any dates, that's for certain. But you see how much cooler that is. Okay, you'll see as soon as I put this on, at the top of it, you'll see the heat again. Cooler, smellier, but better off for it.
That was on just regular ass TV. That was just
Cooler,
small,
smellier, but better off
for it. Yeah. No, there's more of that too, by the way. Dang, where'd my Bear Grylls drops go? Oh, dang it. Oh.
Cooler, smellier, but better off for it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I needed that.
I knew you were going to clip that one.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of them. But it doesn't end. And you hear him, you can hear him excusing his behavior way ahead of time. Where he's like, oh, I gotta pee. The worst thing I could do is just pee.
Just waste this pee. Yeah, of course.
Because you don't drink it.
I'm on camera.
You just get it in your mouth.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
But you would think that maybe that would be something where you could even just mention it, like, hey, I know it's gross, but if you were in a survival situation,
or maybe
you could
put it on a episode.
Yeah, one.
That what we
Good
just
call.
saw piss on the shirt, rub it on your face, wear the piss shirt. Talk about it being smelly but efficient. And then you don't do that anymore throughout your episodes.
I feel you. And creatively go, that's enough of
so
that.
that's enough. And at that point, that's not a piss kink because you've showed me a necessary survival situation if.
Right. I feel you. And I did, and to be honest, if that was the only clip he had,
then this would not
I
be
would
a
be
conversation.
being unfair.
Yes.
About that.
Agreed.
It's not the only clip.
That's not the only clip.
Before I can think about making a new plan, I need to get out of the sun. But the nearest shade is a rocky outcrop an hour's hike away, where I might find a cave. In this midday heat, even this headdress, it's just getting roasting hot. And I've got to think of some way just to keep my head cool. And what I can do, though, is take this off and then pee on it. And it's pretty gross, but it's also not exactly going to smell very good. But luckily, they're not many
He's
people out
quick.
here.
You just whip it out and piss on it.
Exactly very bothered.
To bust that shit.
And it's really,
He's like, watch this,
really
everyone's
yellow pee,
wife.
which is a sign that I'm definitely getting pretty
Listen,
dehydrated.
he's even talking
and then
about
pee
how
on it.
dark it is.
And it's pretty gross, but it's also not.
I need him.
in this
Sorry, I need him to lead up to it again one more time.
I can think about making a
Because
new
it's so
plan.
dark.
I need to get out of the sun. But the nearest
You know what
shade
I
is
could
a rocky
do?
outcrop, an hour's hike away,
my only
where
choice.
I might find a cave.
The only thing I could possibly do in this situation.
Right now, the only water I have is in
In
my
this
freezer.
midday heat, even this headdress, it's just getting roasting hot, and I've got to think of some way just to keep my head cool. And what I can do, though, is take this off and then pee on it. And it's pretty gross, but it's also not exactly going to smell very good. But luckily, there are not many people out here to be exactly very bothered.
It's like, unfortunately,
There's no one to watch me piss on my shirt.
Really
Except for the
yellow pee,
millions
which is a
of
sign
people
I'm
watching this
around
TV
the
show.
world.
dehydrated now.
Yeah, well, do you remember when Discovery was actually like animal shows?
Oh yeah, where you learn stuff.
Yeah, it was wild.
This was the
My
cusp
head's just
there.
on
Yeah.
fire.
Because you might have learned something from this, but then they just found this guy to pee on himself.
Yeah, and then they're like, okay, let's start auctioning cars.
Yeah.
But this is
Oh no, it's toast
really
now.
nice
It has no
and
value.
cooling.
Usually they should accidentally learn stuff.
Better.
Yeah.
I'd also like to note that headscarf was just around his head, and he was like, oh, and this pee's really smelly. Let's take a look at his choice of how to now wear it, now that it's soaked in pee.
Oh, he puts it on his face.
Yeah.
But this is really nice and cooling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not get as much
Your mouth
coverage?
and your nose.
Mouth, nose, eyes. Just in all your orify.
Bro, we will close this episode by me showing you what I consider to be
that a jellyfish?
the pinnacle of
Oh, he's got
his-
a female
Yeah.
co-part.
This is Mel B. This
Spice
is
Girl.
one of the most famous people on the planet at
Especially
one
at
time.
that time.
Yeah, and married now to Eddie Murphy. Like, she's very famous and powerful and rich.
Yes.
And she went on his show. So there's always been that thing, and they used to do it on TV shows all the time, especially like Real World and all that, where like if you get stung by a jellyfish, you're supposed to pee on it. Well, since like the 80s, we've known that's not true. Like the ammonia in your
Yeah.
pee doesn't actually do anything. That was invented by probably Bear Grylls' dad on a beach in Australia because
Right.
some girl got stung by a jellyfish. She was like, it really hurts. He was like, let me
piss on it for you.
Let me pee on it.
Come
You'll
here,
be
love.
Smellier, but better off for it. Like, whatever. It's not true. This is not from before when people knew that wasn't true. And-
Is it dead or is it alive? Well, it could sting you, right, if you touch it.
Right, and he's also going to. I'll be scrolling through this because the video is kind of long, but it's worth the note. It's worth
A
noting what
jellyfish?
this guy was
that's a
doing
jellyfish.
to the whole world.
Is it dead or is it
front of our
alive?
He's the Harvey Weinstein of
Well, it could
peeing on
sting you,
himself.
right, if you touch
So
it.
Harvey Weinstein
If it's
discovered
got
that.
tentacles like that,
those are stingers. But
So you can't eat it?
you can eat like the body of it,
Right.
boil it up. I mean, it's a bit like, tastes a bit like gelatine, but it's pure protein, you know, it's good. A bit of salt's in it, but it's good.
He's talking about eating the jellyfish, obviously. Yeah. And now he's going to intentionally get stung
And you
by
eat
it.
the inside of it?
So there you go, look, hold on. So those bits, I mean, it's
The stingy bits.
It's slippery, but those are ow!
It got you?
Yeah, papa.
So you got stung by a jellyfish?
You ever seen anybody more intentionally
drop something
onto his hand? You ain't ready. This is literally... I'm just going to play it. We'll discuss
And I've seen it in movies before where if somebody gets stung by a jellyfish, you have to pee on them. Do you need me to pee on you?
Let me see if I can do it.
No, I wanted to pee. I don't want to see.
And he doesn't tell her that that's
I
not
would
a
have
thing.
peed on you. Yeah, you need to pee.
Okay, so this finger is now getting really quite painful. Mel's kindly offered 2 or 3 times to provide some urine. I had a pee about 10 minutes ago. I'm out, and I'm actually getting to the stage where I'm going to take her up on this offer.
Oh my
I'll see if I can-
I just want to go to our close-ups real quick.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's out of pee because he had
I
to pee
won't
10
look.
minutes ago.
Oh, but now someone needs
This
to
is
pee
so
on him.
inappropriate.
Boy,
by
the
way.
timing of him
Let's
finding
see
the
if I have
jellyfish.
pee.
This is on TV, by the
You
way.
take my hand, guide it.
Hold on. I don't want to pee on myself.
That is incredible.
Are you ready? If you just relax.
She's
then
somebody's
I'll
mom,
relax.
bro.
I've got stage fright.
This is just on regular...
To pee
This
on
is on
demand when somebody's in
television.
pain is very difficult.
There we go. There we go.
I can't even.
There you go. Don't say I don't
And
do
this was
anything
not
for
that
you.
long ago. This was
No,
15
no,
years
no.
ago, 16
Yeah.
years ago.
Well, she saved my life.
Except for that didn't actually do anything.
No, that's not the other. Give me 5.
It was completely
Still
unnecessary
stinks.
for a married woman to drop
better.
trow on the
At least
beach
stop
and
it.
piss
Pee
on
on
your
this guy's
hand
hand.
on
Yeah.
national television.
Which, and
I must say
obviously...
that is a first.
Don't tell your wife.
We're called all in the name of survival.
Don't tell your wife.
The day so far is... I have no words for it. I have no words for the
You
day.
just cheated on your husband.
Yeah,
on national
and she's
television.
touching her face with his pee right there.
Oh, no.
I think I'll use this for the thumbnail.
There you go. Mel
And
B
people
touching
who
her face
see it
with fee.
will know that she had Bear Grylls pee on her face.
Oh, no, this was her pee.
Yeah.
Because Bear Grylls was out of pee.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it's her pee from his hand. Good stuff. Great TV.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's wholesome.
Yeah. But that was just regular television
on.
that was on. I didn't, like, this wasn't from a site that I needed to pay to see.
No, yeah, no.
Some people would
You
pay.
didn't have a membership.
No, some people would pay for that. And there was a part of me that always wondered, like, is there, like, people who are really into this? Because I remember one time Bear Grylls, like, finding the molted skin of a snake. It was when I was done with him, because I was eating dinner, and he found, like, the molted skin of a snake and filled it with his own pee and was, like, carrying it
No, he
around
was
with
not,
him.
dude.
And then was, like, like, just, like, drinking his pee out of a snake skin.
See, I don't understand how you have enough pee to drink, but you're not, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
how you not dehydrated to death? Because I'm not just.
I can't agree with you more. And the solution to this would have been him and being like, look, here's a situation where your pee has value. But it's like, this is the last. And even like you said, he gets one episode. I
Well,
pee on my
and
shirt.
You already got the eyeballs.
Yeah.
So you're not needed to shock and awe with the piss.
No. You got the eyeballs in your head
Because of the piss.
because you're like, I have the eyeballs now.
Here
the
comes
whole
the piss.
world.
I got the eyeballs because people want to go camping. Here
Yeah.
comes the piss.
Yeah. Watch me.
Watch me. Watch
deal
me.
with
Yeah.
a lot of pee.
Cooler, smellier, but better off for it.
And none of us are.
We should get a T-shirt with that.
Yeah.
Cooler, smellier, and better.
There are T-shirts available. Go to shirtcaviar.com. Use promo code OGA to save 10% on your purchase. But there'll be more T-shirts coming there, I think, as we continue down this road. Oh, and you know what? I'll close it out. This is just one more idiotic thing, because there was the thing I told you about where these guys were like,
I give him the grease. I tell him to put some on his finger, stick it in his ass, so kind of like fuck yourself. Just an old penitentiary trick.
Right. So at one point, I had a video that got demonetized. Not that I was making any money on it, but I was like, I need to make PG versions of my drops. So I did.
That goes for
kittens, puppies.
I give him
candy.
I tell him to put some
in his pocket.
Stick it in his
sleeping bag.
So kind of like
hug
yourself. Just old
playground. All right, that's enough. We did it. We did an hour.
Perfect. That's great.
We did an hour. It was
fun, dude. I
again,
enjoyed
sir. But yeah, we'll, and like I said, you've done it now. We'll do a few more. The structure will come, and but yeah, anything you come across that seems,
just save
interesting, anything silly, send it to me. I'll text you my email too. But yeah, just send it to me. Oh, and everybody should know still, you can dial 847-665-9238 as this is being rebuilt. Leave us a message.
Of course. Any questions, advice? Bro. We have advice.
We will be very good at giving you advice.
Yes. And we can get into I'm not afraid to get into some past stories that I've had.
Get into some nitty-gritty.
Some nitty-gritty to, things to avoid, things not to avoid. How you can enjoy things better if you put them together.
Go together like peanut butter and jelly,
baby.
All right, well, I'm Graham. That's Josh. I do appreciate everyone. We are back. One Graham Army's not going anywhere. Grubbin' with Graham is still going to move forward. It's going to be my side project. I'd expect like maybe one of those a month. And and don't forget the cartoon Gut Feast is out. All 4 episodes available on the YouTube channel. Go check it out now. You got anything else before we close out?
No, this is great.
All right, General. We'll hit you up later. Goodbye.
Welcome. 1 Graham. 1 Graham. Welcome to the
1 Graham Army podcast.
Welcome. 1 Graham. Welcome.
1 Graham.
Welcome. 1 Graham. Welcome to the
1 Graham Army podcast.